We live in a century when a miracle seems to be impossible to create and see. So much has been done in the science, technique and technology that miracles in that area seem to be impossible for many people. But it is not so. What is it, miracle? All of us interpret this word as they understand. There are 7 wonders of the world. Probably Philon Alexandrinsky, who lived in the 4th century before Christ, didn't think that his name would be kept for centuries during the wonderful fact. He, mathematician, mechanic, geodesist, created the first variant of the 7 wonders of the world. We do not insist that everything you will see here will be a wonder of the world, but it will undoubtedly be a miracle. Not once our contemporaries named this apparatus of 8 wonders of the world. Russian wonder in the area of geology, mineralogy and mining. This apparatus is the X-ray radiometric separator for many different natural resources dressing. Such apparatus designing was considered to be impossible some time ago. Let us think what the main point of the offered technique and technology is, and how this wonder separator works. Since long time ago, our experts and now miners and bowl users have been dreaming about ore separating machines, which would take out the poor rock from the extracted ore right to the place of mining, so that the transport and process of the dressing factories only reach ore. They wanted to begin the dressing process previously near mining works. That is why they have been using the manual ore separation of large stone material almost in all mining countries in the world as one of forced measures. But this is slavery. Low effective and unproductive labor is undoubtedly the way of development without any perspectives. Besides, the visual separation is not always possible when there are no differences in color features of the ore and rock. In our country it has become possible. The previous dressing, which is based on the radiometric methods, can decide these tasks. The big merit of radiometric dressing methods development belongs to Russia, where a lot, about 100 methods based on the usage of many different emission kinds for the determination of valuable components in natural resources pieces, are supposed to be commanded with this term. As a result, the entire direction of the dressing technology, which in Russia is connected with such terms as automatic stone-by-stone ore separation methods or radiometric dressing methods, was developed. Finally, the X-ray radiometric method has been selected as the most universal, selective, sensitive and direct for 40-50 years of the general development. Among all the dressing technologies, this is only direct method of measuring of elements content in ore stones or any samples. This method is named XRS, or X-ray radiometric separation, is a new, highly effective, environmentally friendly and low-expensive technology. The principal construction of the X-ray radiometric separator is common for all radiometric dressing methods and includes the following main units: ore feeding, transportation system, measuring chamber, detectors, information processing block, executive device or mechanisms. In the separators Rados of the type SXF separators X-ray fluorescent, all these general constructive and technological principles are used. But every unit has its own constructive and technological features for maximum improvement of the stone's measuring conditions and specific XRS requirements realization. The transport or feeding system provides even material feeding into the measuring zone of the stone-by-stone mode. It is reached with 2 essential elements: the feeder, the distributor. The feeder gets the necessary and regulated material quantity. The distributor, with vibrators, distributes material into the constant ore stone's flow. Additionally, the distributor has the firebar device for removing the ore flow, the dust, fragments, crumbs, which could make worse stones analysis conditions if they got into the measuring zone. The practice showed that the design transport system is effective and universal in the wide size range of stone material from 5 to 300 mm. The separator measuring system consists of detectors and information processing block. This is a quite complicated program apparatus complex, used for provision of wide methodical separators possibilities. Functionally, the SXF measuring system includes the primary emission source, X-ray tube, the X-ray emission detector, proportional counters, the information processing block. The executive device is that organ with whose help the analyzing apparatus turns into the dressing apparatus. The qualitative indexes of dressing machine depend on the right selection of the executive mechanism construction. Because of the operation reasons, electromagnetic mechanisms have been selected from possible variants. They have recommended themselves as reliable devices. A little information about the separator work principle is that the ore poured into the receiving bunker with a vibrant feeder is extracted from it and goes to the distributor. The separator productivity is set by an operator automatically. Because of the vibration and special construction of the distributor, tray grooves the ore from its distributed from the monolayer into the one-channel flow, providing the constant flowing of stones from trays and into the X-ray block measuring zone. In this zone, every ore stone is radiated with primary X-ray emission. In the surface stones layer, the atoms are excited and the secondary X-ray emission, which is registered with the detecting block, appears. This emission makes the spectrum, consisting of the characteristic X-ray emission of elements and the distributed emission. The apparatus spectrum is analyzed with the separator measuring control system. Presence or absence of determined elements relatively to some fixed threshold number in every stone is determined spectrum as the analysis result of the fixed analytical parameter. Selected feature. If this threshold is exceeded, the measuring control system gives the control signal for the effective mechanism actuation, delayed for the time necessary for the stone flying from the measuring zone to separation zone. When the executive mechanism actuates, a stone deviates from the falling trajectory and goes in the far container of the separation products, and then to the conveyor of the separated product. Not selected stones go to their receiving container, and without trajectory deviation get to another conveyor. According to the executive mechanism setting, the measuring control system can make ore stone separation and drug separation. We would like to enumerate the features of the modern separator's Rados. A separator or separation machine is a completed device in which everything necessary for a stone processing and making the decision concentrate pour is located in one separator block. The separator board computer controls the separation units and mechanisms. Automatic separator control allows to avoid people's participation in the separator test, work start and stop process. To start the separation, it is just necessary to switch on the separator and push the button start. The program itself will test the possibility of start. It will automatically start separators and lead the fitting onto a necessary level of the formal productivity provision, at the same time safely for the equipment. One operator's control until its used for work and control of all separators. It can control all the complex separators from one working place due to sensor control and maximally suitable operator's interface. For the wider information, XRS complexes are provided with video systems for watching for every separator work, what essentially helps operators to execute their functions. The operator's control unit is connected with the separate board computers with modern interface TCP. It provides high speed and reliability to an exchange between the control unit and separator. Besides, an operator's working place can be located in any suitable place independently of a distance to the separators. We do not have any doubts about the reliability of our separators, but their work depends on the personnel education, level and quality very much. Every object has an individual structure and technology, collective of specialists and leaders, quite often very conservative. That is why we consider one of the main development tasks to change the attitude of the engineering technical workers and enterprises administration to the new technology, to make them study. What do we do to accelerate and to give all the power of the X-ray radiometric separation technology to the main customers? Let us begin with this education. Here we try to raise qualitatively, improve the circular, materials, methods and training system for itself. For example, on the very first level we added the ABC, like for school beginners, with which it's possible to understand faster the separator's work, service and repair basis. On the second educational level, we created virtual separator, which helps faster and more actively to understand the separator settings and work modes due to special software. Finally, on the third level, we dream to create the electronic connection with our central control in Krasnoyarsk through the internet for enterprises, so that we could see the work of each separator and take part in it, or give some advice to an operator about what we do, or change the working mode by ourselves in time. What do we do about the technique and technology? Now we are ready and are going to produce only 2 separator types, but not 3, 4 or 5 ones, as it was before. Why? It is obvious. Everybody understands that the more separator types and modifications we have, the more difficult it is to serve, repair and deliver spare parts. The technology is more complicated. Designed and selected separators can be used for any tasks and cover, in fact, all the size ranges of separated materials. It will be much easier for enterprises to choose and serve the equipment and complete the technological schemes. Ideally, of course, we would like to create a single universal separator type for a wide size class without material dividing into small classes, but now these are only dreams yet. Also, we consider our new software elaboration, which has already worked on the latest objects to develop the technique and technology. We are also going to change gradually the old software into the new one at the oldest objects. What is software? First of all, it is the help from an operator and technologist in settings and visual reflection of the separator working modes, raising of the safety and automating level. In addition, the video watching system has already been used in separators, which also work in new objects. It raises the operation complexes work onto the higher technical, technological and intellectual level, but does not increase enterprises' difficulties and expenses for the X-ray radiometric separation technology application. Moreover, it decreases them. At present, the elaboration of separators of the third generation is being conducted. It is planned to equip them with a clever mathematical apparatus, what will allow to select automatically the required parameters and dressing modes, in particular, sorting algorithms and separation thresholds. These innovations are demanded by the operation experience and the time requirement. The inevitable technical progress makes our equipment more complicated, but on the other hand, it helps solve people problems, make operation easier, and in general raises the device's reliability level. The main stages of the development and achievements of Rados in the 10-year way of the active application can also be described with 10 items. Firstly, not only dozens but more than 120 separators have been produced into the world. Secondly, the separators delivery to the 45 objects has been done. Thirdly, the special enterprise Technoris has been run for the separators production enlargement. Now it is the plant of quite big possibilities. Fourthly, the biggest and the most exemplary application objects are the Uchalynsk and Gaisk MDP, the North Corporate Zinc Deposit, pre-argon industrial mining chemical complex in the city of Krasnokamensk, where not usual traditional radiometric but our X-ray radiometric separators are set. Where a dressing factory with 6 separators work. Aksusk ferroalloy plant in Kazakhstan deserves special attention. The first fixed separators Rados have been working for 8 years. Besides, our partner, the firm Technoris, has made a great project of application of an X-ray radiometric separator for the nickel slag at the Norilsk plant. The 6th stage of important moments in our work. We have already designed and produced the 3rd separators generation. The new separators models have the more developed software, higher automating and set level of minimal operators participation. The 7th important item from the list of our achievements. At present, the worked-out separators cover the size range of the separated material from 5 to 300 mm. Our latest elaboration is the separator Malish for the material size 5 to 25 mm. We are going on. The URL center of radiometric dressing consisting of 3 enterprises, the closed joint stock company SIC Technogen and the main enterprise Ural Mining Geological University and Rados have been run. It is the alloy of science, education and industry. The grounds of the wonder we are talking about. The tasks of the URL center are extremely big. One can select from the main task of the technology distribution and development in Ural, and in the European part of Russia brought the UIS Union of Independent States countries, the personnel education and qualified staff training, service, designing the ore separating machines and accompanying technologies, objects building, technological researches and experimental industrial tests. And that's not all. The 9th essential item in this list, the effectiveness of radiometric separator for dressing of any different natural resources, including technogene ones, has been studied and revealed in the general these more than 200 deposits. There are more than 60 deposits only for gold and silver. The 10th, but not the last item in the list is the great interest to the X-ray radiometric separator from foreign countries, especially such as China, Republic of South Africa, India and Iran. The first agreements have already been agreed, the first separators have been made and delivered to China. We would like to show you how to have a new philosophic look at the previous dressing technology, to raise your interest and reveal the importance of the attractiveness of the X-ray radiometric separation. This dressing technology gives much more than elementary economics. This is the element, unit or block, which unites a mountain and factory into a single triangle, and this unity has really new qualities. Look at the technological scheme, which is well known for you. Mountain is located on the bowl's ground foundation. This is also the foundation of the mining industry too. The previous dressing returns to these bowls, enriching but not exhausting them. Pour ore through special piles as the raw material of the future processing periods. And dry waste can give additional products on the basic component and also road metal and building materials. The previous dressing essentially decreases mining mass and gives much more valuable and rich material to a dressing factory or gold extracting factory, decreasing ore processing scale and wet waste formation, and as a result, objects of the waste utilization and keeping. So there is the natural circulation of natural resources with minimal wet waste and maximal environmental profit and economical benefit from the usage of bowels. Finally, we would like to say, we are absolutely sure that the X-ray radiometric separation technology and the equipment are constantly developing, perfecting themselves, adapting for the mining industry and its features. It will take very little time, and not traditional new X-ray radiometric separation will become traditional and common at the mining enterprises.